So one of the things that people have been asking me is what they need to do in preparation for April 10th when we slide back to Epic 6, right? First things first, they're changing Labyrinth, and they're changing it so that you will no longer need any currency to go in. So any of these things here, any of these lab compasses, they're going to get turned into conquest points, okay? Conquest points are the currency that you use over here in the conquest shop to buy this stuff, to buy charms. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a 1-to-1 ratio, right? Because when these things cost 30 to 90 a pop, they're not going to give you just 3 conquest points for your 3 lab compasses. So clearly those are going to be at a higher ratio. So I would save them up. I'm not sure I would go so far as to say it's worth buying the Labyrinth compasses. That seems like a pretty hefty price to pay for some additional conquest points. I wouldn't do it. But you may want to hold back and save your Labyrinth compasses. If you're working on grinding through your Labyrinths, just hold off on it. Because the big change on April 10th is it will no longer cost any currency to go into any of the Labyrinths. From Asmakalis Royal Capital to Nixeed to Tyrell Castle to Asmakalis Cycle. You'll just be able to go in anytime you want, as often as you want, for free. Now, to keep this from being abused, to keep people from going in and just running unlimited free Euphine Labyrinths and getting so many ancient coins, they're getting rid of the entire Labyrinth shop and ancient coins, okay? Ancient coins are going to get converted into generic lesser artifact or lesser accessory charms, right? Like this one's a specific for a ring, this one's specific for a neck. They're going to get rid of them and convert them all into these things. The generic ones that can be used on neck or rings. Once again, it's not going to be a 1-for-1 ratio. I'm not going to wake up on April 10th with 11,000 accessory charms. That would be nice, but there's no way. It's probably going to be a 40-to-1 ratio. It'd be the same as if you bought them. So there's no reason to spend these. So I would not spend these. Just let them sit, let them roll over. These are not going away. They're just moving to the conquest shop. So your conquest points will be used to buy all charms. Now, one of the big concerns is they're giving us more things to buy with conquest points. And conquest points are already kind of a limited resource, especially if you're down here buying gear. That kind of sucks. They are changing arena. Currently, when you do a fight in arena, you get 4 conquest points. They're changing it to 10 conquest points. So they're adding 2 things to the conquest point shop, but they're multiplying the amount of conquest points you get by 2.5. So it's a net positive. Even if you hate arena, just doing regular NPC fights will more than compensate for the fact that you're going to be buying artifact charms from the conquest shop instead of from the Labyrinth shop. The third thing that's going away, and this is a little bit of a brain twister, right, is the bug charms. You will be able to go into Asmakalis Cycle as often you want. That means on day 1, when the Labyrinth opens up, you can just go in and spam clear it all. Or if you waited till the last day and you forgot to buy your bug charms, you're like, oh shit, I got 5 bosses to kill and I've only got enough for 3 entries. I guess I just miss out. They're doing away with all of that. They're making it significantly better. You can just go in and kill them. Remember, you can only kill them once. Once they're dead for the rest of the month. That won't change. But for free, you can go in and kill them. Now, we're just going to assume you're doing Nightmare, okay? In Nightmare, you get 3 of the Queen's Guard badges. This is the currency you use in the Alexa shop there to buy that kick-ass ring or kick-ass or neck, the sword and the armor, right? You get 3 from killing all of the bosses except the Queen. You get 5. That's a total of 17 points that you get. So I spend my 10 charms, I can go in and I can get 17 currency. Well, when the 10th rolls around, all of these will be converted into these. So I'll immediately get 10 for free. So that feels like a net negative, right? If I go in and spend them, I'll get 17. If I wait, all I get is 10. Except if you wait, you can then go in for free and get the 17, that's a total of 27. The 10 you got from sandbagging and converting into it, and then it's free to go in and you get your other 17, you're up 27, right? Now, for those of you who like to gamble, there is a world where you use these now, you get your 17, and then when these changes happen, Smilegate resets the labyrinth, and they've been known to do that. They've been known that when they reset a whole system, they reset it, and suddenly you can go in and fight them again. So you spent the 10, got the 17, then they reset it. You get to go in for free and get your 17 again. That's a total of 34. So the gamblers in you may want to spend the 10 now, hoping that when they reset it on the 10th, you can go in and farm it again and walk away with 34 guard badges. That kind of covers the entire labyrinth changes and how that's going to work. The other things you're going to want to do is your adventurer's path. Now mine's completed, so I can't really show it off here, but if you got any adventurer's path done, you want to make sure that you have completed as much of it as humanly possible, because those rewards will go away and be replaced by all new rewards, and you don't want to miss out. If you don't complete it in time, that's okay. Don't stay up until 4 in the morning every night. Don't whip out your credit card swiping for stamina to get it done. It's not that big of a deal. Like, oh no, I missed a mod box. I lost 2 Molagora. That's almost half of a week worth of Molagora. It's not the end of the world if you don't get the stuff done. But focus on the best return on investment. Right now, all your stamina should be going not into hunts, not into rift, not into farting around in the story. Bang out your adventurous path, because every reward you get there is a reward that's not going to be in the game after the 10th. They're going to come out with a whole new adventurous path system. And for the love of God, if you have gotten anything done, make sure you collect it before the 10th, because it will go away and the collect button will be gone too. So if you're still struggling with or working your way through adventurous path, put some effort into that. If you hit a roadblock, you can't complete it content, don't lose sleep over it, guys. It's not account changing rewards you're missing out on. It's just some nice rewards, right? So this is the new thing, right? And if you're like, oh no, I'm not going to get Brieg, trust me, guys, Brieg is going to be in the new system. If you didn't get Brieg and there's no way you'll get to Brieg, you'll get to Brieg. They're even throwing a Mooey into this one if he wasn't in there already. So they're giving you lots of new stuff. It's just they're getting rid of the old and bringing in the new. So if you want to double dip, go get the new banged out and you can double dip. But it's not that important. It's so not that important that they don't care that new players don't have access to it. It's just a chance for you to squeeze a little more juice from the orange, if you get what I'm meaning. Ah, yes, the catalyst. People are asking about this. So they're making a change to the way catalysts work in the game. You're no longer going to have 10,000 different catalysts, and you don't know what this one might go on a Scorpio Rangers, but it also goes on Leo Warriors, and you can't tell do I really need 281 of these bubble gums? Obviously there are certain catalysts that are used way more than other catalysts. I'm sure if you look at your catalysts, you'll see some that you have a lot of and some that you have a little of, because some are using them more than others. They are really doing a good solid for us on this system. They are changing it to just coins, right? There'll be silver coins and gold coins. This is basically a lesser catalyst for warriors, and the gold coin, I think they show it down here somewhere, will be a greater catalyst for warriors. Or an epic catalyst, right? Normal and epic for each one. So we're going from like over 30 catalysts to just 12. Warrior, lesser, greater. Knight, lesser, epic. Thief, lesser, epic, etc. And it makes it so much easier. Oh, the next unit is a thief. I'll make sure I've got some thief catalysts. Now, existing catalysts, what happens to these is existing catalysts will get converted into catalyst selection chests, right? So you're going to wind up with a whole bunch of these. But instead of selecting a specific catalyst with these, you will select the lesser coins. The lesser coins. And if you have, and I'm out of them, but if you have an epic catalyst chest, that will bring up the 6 epic coins that you could select from. So there's really no reason to spend these or spend your AP to get these, right? Your AP will be used to just buy the coins. The AP will still be there. It'll still exist in a 1-for-1 ratio, but the nice thing about the AP is instead of there being AP for this stage and then AP for the next stage and then AP for unrecorded history, all that AP is going to be rolled together into a single AP pool that doing anything in the game will give you AP for. And that includes unrecorded history. So for those of you sitting here with like 100,000 AP sitting here, that AP will still be there. Just the AP shop, instead of looking like this, will just have the six silver catalysts, and we'll have the 6 gold catalysts. And that's it. Straight up, easy to do, clean. Now, one thing you may want to consider doing is if you are sitting on a metric F-ton of a lesser catalyst, right? You've got a whole bunch of these lessers, and there's no way that you're going to need hundreds of lesser catalyst chests, but maybe you want some epic catalyst chests, right? You got 530 of these, there you go. Okay, this is something you may want to consider doing. Slide over to the sanctuary, select an epic catalyst, and it really doesn't matter which one. Select any random one, grab your bubblegum, and put it all in there, and craft it. You're basically saying, I'm throwing away 13 lesser chests to get 3 epic chests. So if you want to get more of the epic cata chests, if you want to try to balance those humors out a little bit, you can do this a few times, right? For each. I think you can do it twice for each, and each one will turn into an epic. See, I can do it. I've already done the max here, but then I can do this one. So I can craft this one, and I can throw more of the bubblegum in there because I don't need 255 lesser selector chests. I would like to have a few more epic selector chests. So this is a way to min-max it. If, like me, you know, I don't have a ton of these, I would walk away with 50, 60, 70, about 75 epic chests, right? And I'm gonna walk away with hundreds of lesser chests. So I'll probably come in here and buy, and you can do this, you know, once, you know, you can do this rotation once per week. So you probably have got 2 rotations through to buy the epic catalysts to convert those into epic chests on the 10th. You don't have to do this. It's just a nice little min-max way to maybe make sure you get plenty of the epic catas that you're going to need. I'm not overly worried about it because I've got tens of thousands of AP. That covers it. As far as things you're going to want to make sure you have done and things that you want to do to get ready for the Origins update, just sort your catalysts. Make your decision about whether or not you're going to wait or farm Labyrinth. My advice is to wait because 27 guaranteed is better than 34 to 17, right? And get your Adventurous Path done, of course. Once your Adventurous Path is done, you've min-maxed the game. If you don't get your Adventurous Path done in time, that's okay. The new system will have really nice stuff. Yeah, make sure you've cleared out your Chapter 1 and your unrecorded history. You've collected all the rewards from that, because when Chapter 1 and unrecorded history change, there's a really good chance that's going to get reset, and you'll be able to farm that again, get the rewards a second time. Again, it's all about maximum return on investment and min-maxing it. If you miss out, who cares? So does everybody else who starts after April the 4th. It's not going to be damaging to your account. But free stuff is good, and you should get as much as you can out of this. I ask about the new player returner rewards, and will they cross over? Well, you know, is it, I got people wanting to know, should they start E7 now, or should they wait until the 10th and start and get the new returner rewards, the new player rewards? I think you start now, because the new player rewards plus what you could grind out in Adventurous Path will be far, far better than just what the new returner and new player rewards would be. So I think you start immediately, get to work on Adventurous Path, milk it for as much resources as you can, and then start. The only reason to wait until April is if you wait till April 10th, you get to start with Asaria and Song of Stars. If you start now, you go through the same selective summon, and you can select Asaria, but you will not get Song of Stars. That does not come for free. So you got to consider that in whether or not you start now or you wait. I still think the rewards are better value. I don't think Song of Stars is required to do anything. It just makes things faster. But you got to make that decision as to whether or not that artifact is worth bagging it for 10 days and starting when you can start out with Song of Stars. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You guys have a great one.